6 SUVs with the statistical staying power to hit 300,000 miles are collecting dust on dealer lots right now, and the window to buy them at a discount is slamming shut faster than most buyers realize. Tariff-driven price increases, shrinking pre-tariff inventory, and a fundamental shift in how these vehicles are engineered mean that what's sitting on dealer lots today could represent the last real chance to grab these legendary workhorses at reasonable prices. What follows is a breakdown of exactly what's happening in the market, which SUVs are affected, and why the next few months matter more than you probably think. The K-shaped market nobody's talking about. This moment in the auto market is strange, and the strangeness comes down to one thing. We don't have a uniform glut of SUVs sitting around. What we have is a K-shaped market where some vehicles fly off the lot in days, while others sit for months on end. Toyota and Lexus SUVs move in a median of 7 to 19 days, while Ford and Stellantis full-size SUVs sit at 100 to 150 days supply. The industry target sits at 75 days. Some manufacturers are running at half that number. Others are pushing nearly double. Aaron Keating, an executive analyst at Cox Automotive, explained the split this way.
Vehicles in the $35,000 to $45,000 tier absorb demand and maintain leverage, while the mid-market tier carries excess supply and faces margin risk.
The slowest turning segment in the entire market sits in that $45,000 to $55,000 price band, which shows approximately 120 days supply. That bracket is exactly where most full-size SUVs push mainstream buyers out the door. A Tahoe starts north of $60,700, an Expedition starts at nearly $65,000, and a Sequoia starts past $64,000. These aren't economy cars. These are the longest-lasting vehicles in America, sitting idle because they've outpriced the average buyer, and that creates real opportunity for those who can swing the payment. The tariff reality. Before getting to the 6 SUVs, you need to understand why this is a time-limited situation. On April 3, 2025, 25% tariffs on imported vehicles went into effect, and 1 month later, parts tariffs kicked in. Imported vehicles now carry an extra $5,000 to $8,900 compared to pre-tariff pricing. Even domestically assembled vehicles with foreign parts cost an additional $1,600 to $2,000. The total industry tariff burden has climbed to $35.4 billion. Patrick Anderson, CEO of Anderson Economic Group, put it plainly.
There is no way for $10 billion to be absorbed by the automakers and suppliers alone. Consumers and workers are going to bear some of these costs.
Jeff Dyke, president of Sonic Automotive, went even harder.
The tariffs are too high on some of these brands, and they're going to pass pricing on. It's already happening.
The number that matters most right now is 66. That's the days supply remaining industry-wide as of April 2026, which falls below the 75-day target and represents a sharp drop from 90 days in late 2025. Pre-tariff inventory is a depleting asset. Once it's gone, replacement stock arrives at significantly higher cost. Cox Automotive is telling consumers to expect higher prices and fewer discounts on new vehicles by summer 2026. That window is closing. SUV number 1, Toyota Sequoia. The vehicle with the single highest probability of reaching 250,000 miles of any SUV in America kicks off this list. IC-Car's October 2025 analysis examined 402 million vehicles, and the Toyota Sequoia came out on top with a 39.1% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. The average SUV manages just 7.8%. That makes the Sequoia 5 times more likely to hit that milestone than a typical SUV. And yet, Sequoia sales sat almost flat last year, up just 0.34%, with Toyota moving 26,186 units. For context, The company sold nearly 4 times as many 4Runners. The price range runs from $64,025 to $84,435, which plants the Sequoia squarely in that oversupplied $60,000 plus bracket. Body-on-frame construction gives it the single most powerful longevity advantage in vehicle design. That separate ladder frame bolted to the body allows components to be serviced independently, handles stress better on rough terrain, and proves far easier to repair at high mileage than unibody construction. If you want the statistically proven longest-lasting full-size SUV and you can negotiate on one that's been sitting, this is the vehicle. SUV number 2, Ford Expedition. The Ford Expedition might be the clearest rotting on lots example in this entire list. Ford's brand-wide inventory hit 121 days supply as of February 2026, which qualifies as severely oversupplied. Over 13,000 Expeditions are available across the country right now. Current transaction data shows buyers paying an average of 3.63% below MSRP, which translates to about $2,735 off, and there's also a $1,000 order bonus floating around. Transparency matters here. The Expedition doesn't appear in iSeeCar's top 10 longest-lasting SUVs, but it shares the same body-on-frame DNA as the vehicles that do make that list, and it runs on a proven platform with decades of real-world reliability data backing it up. The Expedition's price range spans from $64,995 to $89,655. If you want a full-size domestic SUV and you want negotiating leverage, Ford dealers are ready to deal. Ray Shefska from CarEdge summed it up.
If you're shopping for a slow-selling SUV, the ball is in your court. Dealers know those vehicles aren't moving, and that gives you the upper hand in price negotiations.
Let's talk numbers. SUV number 3, Chevrolet Tahoe. No other vehicle in the entire industry earned what the Chevrolet Tahoe earned. J.D. Power's 2026 Vehicle Dependability Study ranked the Tahoe number 1 among large SUVs in dependability, initial quality, and appeal, making it the only vehicle in any segment to lead all 3 metrics. That study pulled responses from 33,268 owners of 2023 model year vehicles and landed on an industry average of 204 problems per 100 vehicles. Gas-powered vehicles like the Tahoe came in at 198 problems per 100 vehicles, which made them the least problematic powertrain type. Plug-in hybrids, by comparison, hit 281 problems per 100 vehicles. iSeeCar's longevity study placed the Tahoe 7th among SUVs, showing a 17.7% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. That's 2.3 times the SUV average. Here's the market reality. Tahoe sales dropped 10% in the first quarter of 2026, and GM's total sales fell 9.7%. Incentives are climbing. The Tahoe prices between roughly $63,000 and $83,000, and while GM's dealer programs currently cap discounts at around $4,000 to $5,000, that's still real money on a vehicle with this kind of track record. SUV number 4, Chevrolet Suburban. The Suburban shares a platform with the Tahoe, but offers more cargo space and, here's what matters, even better longevity numbers. In the iSeeCar study, the Suburban ranked 4th among all SUVs with a 22.0% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. That's 2.8 times the SUV average and higher than its shorter sibling. Between them, the Tahoe and Suburban give Chevrolet somewhere between 36 and 41% 30% share of the full-size SUV segment. These platforms have proven themselves over decades. GM Authority reported that while sales remain strong against competitors, cracks are showing in the fourth quarter of 2025 as year-over-year declines become visible. The Suburban qualifies for the same incentive programs as the Tahoe. If you need the extra length and you're considering GM's full-size offerings, the Suburban's longevity statistics actually edge out its more popular sibling. SUV number 5, Nissan Armada. This one is the sleeper of the list. The Nissan Armada offers steeper discounts than any other longevity-capable SUV in this group. Kelley Blue Book data shows buyers paying $4,575 to $6,575 below MSRP on current models. The vehicle prices from $61,030 to $81,775, which means you could potentially drive one off the lot for $55,000 or less. Awards have piled up for the Armada. Best SUV of 2026, SUV of Texas 2026, and Awards 10 Best Engines Award. It seats 8, and yet it moves slowly because Nissan's brand perception drags it down. Here's the catch. The Armada is assembled in Japan, which means it's exposed to tariff costs. Nissan already cut 40,000 units of production in response to the tariff environment. Brand-wide, Nissan sits at 98 days supply, which signals that they're oversupplied and motivated to move metal. If value matters most, and you can accept a Nissan badge, this is where the deals are. Current offers include 2.9% APR plus $2,500 bonus cash. SUV number 6, Toyota Land Cruiser. The Toyota Land Cruiser may present the most compelling buy now or never opportunity on this entire list. iSeeCars data shows the Land Cruiser has a 53.3% chance of reaching 200,000 miles, the highest of any SUV at that benchmark. Average ownership length for a Land Cruiser stretches to 11.4 years, which is longer than any other model in America. What makes leftover 2025 models special is the pricing. They're available for as low as $53,409, which represents $4,000 to $5,000 off the normal price. That's the best Land Cruiser deal in years. The real story is what's changing. The 2026 Land Cruiser's price is climbing, and Autoblog is asking buyers whether they should grab a 2025 model instead. For many enthusiasts, the answer is yes. Land Cruiser sales jumped 50.95% last year with 43,946 units sold. This vehicle has documented examples exceeding 500,000, 600,000, and even 700,000 miles. A Farmer's Weekly profile featured a 2008 Land Cruiser in Ireland with 484,000 kilometers on its original engine, original gearbox, original clutch, and original turbo. Across Australia, Land Cruisers with 500,000 to 600,000 kilometers are routinely sold as used vehicles, with some approaching 1 million kilometers. Toyota designed this vehicle for 25-plus years of service life. When to buy based on real data. The numbers that matter tell a clear story. Right now, 54% of dealer inventory is listed below MSRP, and that percentage is declining as pre-tariff stock disappears. Incentive spending surged 76% year-over-year to $1,611 per vehicle in February 2026, but that spending is dropping as inventory tightens. Over 650,000 leftover 2025 models remain on lots nationwide, with manufacturers offering 0% financing and $3,000 to $10,000 cash rebates to clear them. Consumer Reports place Toyota at number 1 for most reliable brand overall in their 2026 ratings, with Lexus landing at number 3. J.D. Power found that Toyota Motor Corporation took home the most model-level awards with 8, including recognition for the 4Runner and Lexus GX. CarEdge points out that discontinued cars can save buyers 10 to 20% upfront through aggressive dealer discounts and manufacturer incentives. While these 6 SUVs aren't discontinued, the same logic applies to leftover model years and slow-selling inventory. The bottom line. Here's what matters: the Toyota Sequoia, Ford Expedition, Chevrolet Tahoe, Chevrolet Suburban, Nissan Armada, and leftover 2025 Toyota Land Cruisers represent a convergence of proven longevity, current market weakness, and a closing window on pre-tariff pricing. These vehicles share body-on-frame construction, which explains why they last. They sit in the $60,000 plus price bracket, which explains why they're slow to sell. And they're available at discounts that won't survive once tariff-priced inventory replaces what's on lots today. Jonathan Smoke, chief economist at Cox Automotive, put it simply:
prices will rise and volumes will decline.
Stephanie Brinley of S&P Global Mobility added,
As we get into the 2026 model year and beyond, consumers will find themselves paying more for new vehicles. And that includes not just imports, but models assembled in the US, since they all use at least some foreign-made parts and components.
If you've been waiting for the right moment to buy a full-size SUV that can go 300,000 miles, this is that moment. The prices won't necessarily be the lowest they'll ever reach, but the combination of pre-tariff inventory, growing incentives, and the last generation of mechanically simple powertrains creates an opportunity that genuinely won't come around again. The research is clear. The window is real. Whether you act before it closes is up to you. Thanks for watching. If this information helped, leave a comment below and let me know which of these 6 SUVs interests you most. I'll see you in the next one.